Hi everybody, this is Red Hill Eagle and welcome back to the channel. Yes, I've done exactly what I said I wasn't going to do and I've started a new series. Um, I'm certainly not going to be doing four, and I'm sticking to the Premier League Wrestling Modern Day that I've got. And I thought I'd do this. This is going to be a bit more, I'm not going to go into too much depth with this one. I'm not going to be planning as much as I'm planning the other one. I'm going to kind of do this one a bit fluidly. I'm just going to try and enjoy this one a bit more than kind of, as I say, really go into depth and really plan out. It'll be a little bit easier. This is an idea I've had, or I've kind of done a couple of times. I've attempted this one a couple of times. Whether they've reached the YouTube stage, I can't remember. I think maybe once on my previous channel. I'm not sure if there's anything on this channel, but anyway, whatever. I want to give it another go. It's called A Broken Heart. It is set in January 1998, so it's a month after the famous screw job from Survivor Series 97, and he went to WCW. In our universe, he didn't debut straight after. He's going to debut in January, so in our universe, he hasn't even arrived in WCW yet. People know he's on his way. He made the WCW sign with his hands after the screw job in the ring and everything. People know he's on his way. People were expecting him in December, but he didn't turn up. So we kind of get a blank canvas. Now, it's not all going to be about Bret Hart, but I think it's a really good story to tell. We're obviously going to do it completely differently to WCW. He should have just done a lot better than he did. He should have just been, he should have just been up there. So, yeah, we're going to do things a little bit differently. One thing I do want to look at, actually, or I do want to sort of mention, is I mean, I wasn't watching wrestling at this time, as I've mentioned in previous uh, videos I've done, but he's only down as well known, which I kind of think is a bit really. I mean, if anything, at least star, if not major star. He's just come out of a famous screw job, right? He's just come from WWF. He's just been their champion, and he's come into the rival company. I think he would have been hot. Now I know his momentum's cooled. Now again, I wasn't watching wrestling, but maybe that first month he had in real life has attributed to that. Looking at his popularity, and I compared it with Kevin Nash, who is a star, Bret Hart is just way more popular everywhere. I think apart from in one country, Japan or something, I can't remember. It might have been somewhere else. So I just thought that was a bit odd. Maybe the momentum has something to do with that. So I'm not going to go and change stats and stuff, but what I am going to do is I'm going to give him a new gimmick, which will reset his momentum. It might only take something small to get him up to star, but that's what we're going to be aiming to do. The other thing as well, I normally, the age of 40 is usually when I start thinking about, these guys can now start jobbing to the new generation. But it's kind of, he's only just come here. He's still a big star. He's still a name on people's lips. And also, when you look at this roster, look, they're all old. I mean, old might be harsh. I mean, I'm somewhere abouts here. I'm not going to point to one particular age or anything, but so but It's an aging roster, and I do need to start looking at getting some younger guys over. I mean, we've got Goldberg, who's 31, so he's got a good few years. I'm not sure what he's going to be like in ring. I've heard he's not safe in the ring, so we're going to have to kind of watch that a little bit. Lex Luger, I mean, he's 39 now as well, so he's on his way down. Savage is on his way down. I mean, it's not really till you get down to the well-known and pretty much recognisable, actually, when you've got a good mix of youngsters that can come through. I mean, look, uh, back to well-known. I mean, the Giant maybe a bit too young, but then who's going to beat him unless we had him as like a clumsy giant sort of thing. He's got to get more wins than losses, so I'm not quite sure how to book him yet, especially this young. I would probably put him in a tag team so he doesn't win every week. But I'm not sure yet. I'll look at it. Booker T still got plenty of time, and we will be pushing him. Buff Bagwell, not sure what he's like in game. I mean, obviously in real life, well, maybe I don't know. I mean, I think he was good in WCW, wasn't he? But I think when they tried to use him in the invasion angle and it just didn't work out. Chris Benoit is always a difficult one for me. I'm probably not going to do anything with him. Chris Jericho, yeah, he's got years ahead of him. Again, maybe a bit too young to be looking at the world title, but I want him to be up there. I want him to be relevant. Davey Boy Smith, it's all going to depend on his drug issues and all his personal issues, really. Whether we do much with him. Eddie Guerrero, yeah, push him to the moon. Greg Valentine can put people over. Jim Duggan's old as well. Jim Neidhart, yeah, I mean, obviously the Brett connection, we don't want to upset him, but he's not going to be sort of one that we look to push. Conan, I've always kind of liked in this game. Don't know much about him in real life because I wasn't watching wrestling, but yeah, I would like to give him the opportunity to become a star. Whether he takes it or not, we'll have to see. Who else have we got that's at a decent age? Raven. Yeah, Raven. 6. Never been a fan, really. I mean, as a kid, yeah, the whole 1, 2, 3 kid thing was great. I wasn't watching wrestling when he was 6, or what was it in? What was he in? WWF? I can't remember now. X-Pac. Wasn't really watching it, and I've always, my opinion. If you've seen my videos before, you know my opinion on lightweight and small guys. I'm relaxing the rule on lightweight, but I still think you need to come across as someone who's tough. I don't think he really came across as that. Same really with Alex Wright. And again, very, very young, so more than likely stick him in a tag team. But yeah, we're getting into the unimportant now, which is a different kettle of fish. But so it's going to be an interesting roster. I have already released quite a few people. So we've got Money Cut. I can't remember what it started with actually, because I was going to do this as my main save before PLW. This was one of the ones I was considering. Yeah, I did go through and I've released some people and that sort of thing. Not sure what else I want to go through. It's just a short episode, really, just to tell you, my intentions. I've got rid of the Bret Hart storyline that was in here. Oh, teams. Didn't want to look at teams. We could probably do with getting a couple more. But I wanted to look at storylines. Yeah, we got rid of the one that involved Bret Hart, and there was another one I think that I got rid of. But I'm going to keep the Goldberg streak because it just makes sense to keep it. We'll obviously have to put in some of our own storylines. We need 5 at 65 heat. That's a lot. So I'm probably going to be looking at having at least 7 or 8 stories on the go, and just hope that 5 of those can stay 65 or above. So there's that. Events and TV, I did sort of shuffle these around as well and put them all to Sunday week 4. Again, if you know the way I like to do things, 4 weeks of TV, pay-per-view. 4 weeks of TV, pay-per-view. So that's what I've done here. I don't think I've changed any of the names. I don't like World War 3. I just don't like the name. I might get rid. I might do something else. I'll have to see. Let me know your opinions. I don't know. I don't know what to do yet with that. And also, this is a good era actually, because we've still got a lot of the old school stars that are still around. Yes, they're getting old, but they're still around. And we're sort of on the cusp of seeing people like, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 years away, but Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Batista, John Cena, all those sort of people, entering the game world. So it'd be interesting, really. I wouldn't mind, maybe Batista because he's a little bit older than the others, but the others, the people like, the Ortons and the Cenas, maybe a bit too young. But I'll shortlist them, and if it looks like the WWF are coming in for them, I'm probably going to go into some kind of bidding war with them. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going to go too in depth in this one and too in depth with the storylines and every beat of each story. We're just going to enjoy this one. We're just going to try and see where we can go with it and see who we can get over, and just have a bit of fun with it, really. I'll probably sort of upload this one as and when I want, and because also with the Premier League wrestling, I was finding it's a bit slow. I'm keeping it going. Don't get me wrong. I'm keeping it going, but because I'm uploading only once or twice a week, I'm itching. I'm itching to play. I'm like, oh, I can't wait until such and such a day when that uploads, because then I can start working on the other one. Because when I've got the TEW buzz, I've really got the buzz. I mean, when I get burnout, yeah, I get bad burnout, but when I've got the buzz, so I'm trying to find that sweet spot where I'm not doing too much and I'm not doing too little. I'm doing just enough to keep me interested. So yeah, that's that really. Let me know in the comments below if you think there's anyone I should be looking at signing. Let me know if there's any particular guys, any storylines that you think might have been interesting at this sort of time. As I say, it's an interesting period. They're still it's still the middle of their 83 weeks. I think it was April when Raw finally beat Nitro again. So we're still in that period. I'd like to sort of keep that going, but obviously we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Yeah, let me know. And as I say, let's just have a bit of fun with this one. We'll start off in the next episode with WCW Monday Night Nitro.